Hello, Foxy people. About a week or 2 weeks ago, I reviewed Totally Awesome Hulk issue 7 on my blog, not realizing that issue 8 came out the same day 2 weeks ago also. Instead of writing another review, I decided to actually do a vlog review instead. So, let's talk about peace in our time. Oh, and in case I gotta say it, spoiler alert. So when we last left off in issue 7, Bruce Banner was ardently gadding about in the world since Amadeus Cho absorbed all the gamma radiation and is now, the Hulk. So in issue 8, Amadeus and his sister Maddie find Bruce sleeping on like a beach chair in Cali, sick as a dog with the flu. So the Chos take Bruce back to their secret cave hideout, which I totally want one. I totally want a secret cave hideout. Um, to help Bruce recover, sorry, and are joined by Rick Jones and Bruce's cousin Jennifer, aka She-Hulk. The issue starts off pretty light and fun, which is what I like. Siblings spatting over soup. To She-Hulk and Rick and Maddie playing cards while Bruce is on his laptop playing some, MMORPGs and stuff. But the fun kind of comes to a halt when Amadeus goes green and then he breaks out of the hideout and just starts bouncing around everywhere and nobody understands why. So when Rick and She-Hulk and Maddie catch up with him, we find out some things like that Amadeus has been blacking out when he's the Hulk, and sometimes he doesn't remember what he's done, and that was the core reason that he wanted to get it back in touch with Bruce to have a talk with him. But after seeing Bruce sick and, and also more at peace with not being the Hulk anymore, Amadeus didn't want to burden Bruce with his troubles. And when talking with Bruce later that Amadeus sees that Bruce can handle that and more, given his history. Issue 8, just like issue 7, for me, it really humanized Bruce Banner. Especially as someone who isn't. I've never been a consistent Incredible Hulk reader. So if you didn't know Bruce's history, which prior to the experiment that transformed him into the Hulk, and I didn't, you find out, and it's dark, but it really makes sense, as to why Bruce is the way he is. Violence has been in his life since he was a child, when his father killed his mother, and then years later, Bruce ends up killing his own father. So, given that history, you see how that influences his Hulk, and also given that it kind of seems like he really hasn't, I guess, done the work to really address those anger problems in the healthiest way. Maybe someone who's an Incredible Hulk fan, if they've read it from the beginning and everything, and they've been more consistent. Maybe they can tell me something different. But from issue 7, seeing in issue 7, I sort of get this idea that no matter what, Bruce sort of hasn't really addressed those anger problems, those rage problems. It just seems like he tries to, put a band-aid on it, and, try to, just patch it up, but not really deal with it because he was always more concerned with not getting angry, not getting overly anxious, not being stressed out so that he doesn't, change into the Hulk. Yet, no longer having to worry about turning into that ultimate manifestation of his anger once enraged, along that feeling that the Hulk is in good hands with Amadeus, Bruce Banner has achieved a peace that I don't think he's ever really had in his life. Which brings us to Civil War issue 3. Sorry. I am so through with Marvel building up certain characters, showing the possible shiny, bright future that they have, only to tear it into pieces via killing them off. You know, first we see it with Rhodey, with War Machine. We see that he most likely would have gone into politics, maybe even becoming the president someday, only for him to be killed by fucking Thanos. Yeah, thanks, Captain Marvel. Appreciate you for that, Carol. And now, after everything that Bruce Banner's been through, now finally being free of the Hulk, only to have him killed by friggin' Hawkeye. Because apparently Bruce didn't really find that peace after all, I guess, and he's been experimenting on himself to keep from hulking out for a year, but we'll never know if it truly worked because now he's fucking dead. And, you know, Hawkeye said that he saw green in Bruce's eyes. I ain't seen that shit. And that's what's so messed up about the entire situation of that issue. We just have Hawkeye's word to go on, and we just have, you know, the recorded message that Bruce Banner left, letting everybody know that, oh, should I Hulk out again or whatever, I went to Clint Barton and gave him permission and the means to kill me. Yeah, thanks again, Captain Marvel. Because, you know, profiling people and convicting them of shit they may or may not do or have done based on a precog who doesn't even fully understand his own damn powers, you know, that's always a good idea. So now Bruce is gone. Bruce Banner is gone. But Iron Man may have figured out how Ulysses' inhuman power actually works, so guess I'll have to stay tuned to see how many other people Captain Marvel will be partially responsible for killing. Anyway, kudos to Greg Pak and Alan Davis for sending Bruce off on a high note, only for Bendis to pop that bubble. Damn you, Bendis.